This portion of the news is brought to you by Sun Oil Limited, fueling growth for people.
More than 700 people from 17 countries across the Caribbean and even the United States began brainstorming ways to generate further regional growth as the credit union sector continues to grow. Addressing the official opening of the 57th Annual International Convention of the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions last evening, Minister of Finance, Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie, spoke to the growth the local industry has experienced, believing that the success of this sector has a direct correlation to the success of the economy. He urged participants to take advantage of this opportunity and expand the industry even further.
The spirit of economic empowerment is one that is common to all societies. It is guided by the principle that as an individual, one should be able, through prudent utilization of one's resources, to achieve better things, whatever one's ambitions might be, and that one should have the resources or have access to the resources to achieve one's basic goals. That one can achieve this through the pooling of individual financial resources is a fundamental objective of the cooperative movement.
The four-day conference, which ends Tuesday, is the largest meeting of experts in the region's history and will focus on re-engineering credit unions for success and sustainability. And that happens to be this year's theme. President of the Caribbean Confederation of Credit Unions, Aaron Moses, called on his colleagues to collaborate as a region. Currently, the CCCU has 310 credit unions with assets valuing over $5 billion.
Convention 2014 is about charting our future, recommitting and rededicating ourselves to the growth, development, and sustainability of the credit union movement in our region. Convention 2014 is also about expanding the cooperative family and projecting this model as a viable development alternative to our policymakers and citizens of the Caribbean. Since its advent in the Caribbean in the early 1940s, the credit union movement has grown steadily and continues to make a significant contribution to the socio-economic development of our region.
An American university continues to make a big difference here in the Bahamas for children with special needs. Our Charisma Robinson tells us tonight about the university's art therapy program and its goal to help the local community understand that children with special needs have amazing strengths too.
Art therapy students of Emporia State University in Kansas got the opportunity to learn about our culture through sharing their therapeutic and creative approaches to healing with children at the Bahamas Association for the Physically Disabled. It's something Dr. Laura Cherry and Dr. Galen Wolf-Bordonaro have been doing for years now, providing 2 weeks of joy and learning to students. They say the program, which closed on Friday, has been equally moving for the children as well as grad students.
The great thing about art is there aren't any wrong answers, so anything that they're able to do is a success. And my friend here, the art is motivation for him to do other things. That you just saw him stand. That's a very big accomplishment for him. He's not been able to do that before now. So the art motivates children in lots of different ways.
We have lots and lots of interested graduate students, art therapy students as well as others, who are eager to come and explore the culture, share adaptive and developmental art making techniques with the children.
Wonderful. This is actually my second time coming here because the first time I came, the kids just stole my heart and I knew that they deserved to have the best they could get.
Sir Durward Knowles is a champion of these disabled children and has long supported the center. He is also a proud supporter of the group that has been coming to the Bahamas at its own expense for over 10 years. He's appealing, though, for more community support.
To see these children here today indicates to us that we need a physiotherapist. We need these people down here every year instead of once or twice a year. So the community has been very nice, good to me as an individual, as president of this organization. We have applied over 1,200 chairs to the outer islands, and we need the support of the public. We need to raise money to buy a bus. Without the bus, the children can't come to school. The mothers can't go to work. So the bus is number one we're all blessed.
Minister of Social Services Melanie Griffin and other ministry officials were also on hand for the closing on Friday. Minister Griffin says it's a program that has seen many benefits they hope will continue through continued partnership. Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.
Well, the National Alumni Association of St. Augustine's University in North Carolina will for the first time be holding its national conference outside of the United States right here in the Bahamas July 23rd through 26th. Alumnus Ron Pinder says the event is significant because there are over 400 Bahamian University alumni that live in the Bahamas. Among them, former Deputy Prime Minister Cynthia Mother Pratt.
We are having a gala banquet. That will be the highlight of the event, and at that event we'll be honoring Cynthia Mother Pratt. We also have an all-white affair, that's another cocktail reception, all in aid of raising funds to establish a scholarship fund to encourage and to facilitate more Bahamian students going to St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I'm a proud alumni, and as I said earlier, this is just a series of events we're hosting.
And in our feature story tonight, we introduce you to a young Bahamian entrepreneur who's inspired by fashion. While she's young in age, her ideas to modernize the fashion world are certainly very mature. Jared Higgs has our story tonight.
Kristen Cartwright is a 20-year-old graduate of St. John's College and the CEO of one of the Bahamas' most promising fashion startups. Kristen founded Eclipse Swimwear in the summer of 2013, and a year later she hosted her first fashion show. The fashion designer explained why her swimwear is extraordinary.
The thing that makes it so unique is that I only sell about 3 of each swimsuit. I design the swimsuits and I actually sew them myself.
Eclipse, like so many other highly successful brands, emerged from humble beginnings and a young woman's simple desire to earn some extra cash.
I didn't actually start with swimwear. I started with clothing, and one day my mother catch me hand stitching a dress. And she was like, "No, Kristen, you can't hand stitch nothing. We're going to get you a sewing machine."
Kristen's first fashion show was held on June 15th at the National Art Gallery and gave eager supporters an opportunity to help usher in her new line of swimwear under the theme Island Rebel. She says the reaction to the show and her work in general is a catalyst for the brand's success.
I love the reaction I get when people actually meet me and they're like, "Wow, you're 20 years old, you make the swimsuit, you do all of this." So it's like mind-blowing, like, yes, I do all of it. Why is it so hard to believe? I think it pushes people to buy my swimsuits more because they want to support a young Bahamian.
Although the brand is still less than a year old, it has generated a significant amount of attention in that short space of time. And despite the success, Eclipse's 20-year-old CEO isn't tempted by the pressure to prematurely take her show on the road.
A lot of people are saying you need to go abroad, you need to do this, but I actually want to build my foundation in Nassau. I want to open up at least a store or two and then branch off abroad.
Jared Higgs, ZNS Network News.
All right, well, that does it for this portion of the news. Don't go away. Julian Gibson is up next with sports.